Hello. So today I would like to talk about my experience with meeting Jesus Christ um, and having an experience with Him. It happened in 2011 in January, and that was the year when I was about to graduate from college. And I've always been a very anxious, worrying person, and I didn't find a job yet at that time. And I was visiting my mother in Shanghai. It was winter break, so for the past 10 years, I was basically a non, like I believed, but I didn't feel the faith. Like literally, I knew that God existed, but I didn't feel like the faith part of it. So it was hard, and the first time I experienced God was when I was 15 years old, when I was in the U.S. visiting for 1 year, um, living with a host family. And during that year, I went to church with my host family every Sunday, and it was that year when I first had um, I guess, experience with God. It was full of hope and joy, and later on found out that I had faith. But I lost it as soon as I left the U.S. and went back to Spain, where I was born and raised. So for the past, for the following 9 years, more or less, I just was searching for that feeling again and that connection with God again. So it was January of 2011, and I went back to Shanghai to see my mother, and my mother and I we went to an underground church because in China, basically most churches are not allowed. So after that, I guess it was a Protestant church, the one we went to. But after the mass, um, we went home and took a cab, and in that cab I was saying to myself, goodness, I'm tired of relying on myself and trusting in myself for things in the future. And I was tired of being stressed out, and I had this weight on my shoulders that I was just it was getting to me, right? And I remember telling God, I am going to give up my will and follow your will for me. And it was a very clear image in my head where I was coming to a crossroad, and I, by my nature, I will take the right path, but God will want me to take the left path. So I said, God, if I'm going to follow you, I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to do what you want me to do. And you want me to take the left path, I will do that. And when we come to the second crossroad, I'll do the same. I'll take the path that you assigned for me. And so on and so forth, all the way, uh, you know, to eternity. Um, so, I don't think it was that afternoon, but the next morning when I woke up, this most amazing feeling of peace. And we all feel peace to a certain degree. We can listen to, I don't know, classical music, or we can go for a walk in the park, and we can experience that kind of peace. But the peace that I felt, I could only describe it as something out of this world. And Jesus Christ said, I am the Prince of Peace. And that peace was, as I said, there are no words to describe it. So not only I felt the peace from Jesus Christ, but I also felt the presence of Jesus Christ. I had no doubts about, like I had no worries whatsoever about the future. I had peace, I have joy, and I have a sense of certainty. And I knew that everything was going to be okay. And it's easier said than done when you don't believe in God, right? You just say, oh, everything is going to be okay. You can say it, but there's no real thing in your heart for you to really believe it. So you can say you know, but you don't really know. Now, that day, I knew that I knew it was something out of this world. And it was nothing I have ever experienced before. So I felt that way for a couple of weeks, like that intense feeling of certainty and uh, no worries and no fear about the future, and just contentment and joy and peace from Jesus Christ. And I feel like Jesus was by me that whole time. And I'm sad to say that that intense feeling didn't last forever. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that it eventually slowed down a bit, and I was still joyful and hopeful and faithful, and most importantly, I gained my faith back. I believed again. Not only I knew that God existed, but I believed that that God existed. I don't know if that explains it, but I had no doubts in my heart anymore, right? And I could feel God's presence. So going forward, I got a job, I graduated, I got married. Um, I have a wonderful wife that she constantly forgives me for things that I don't do right, and I forgive her for things that she doesn't do right. We're not perfect, but it's just my life is so different now from the way my life was before. Um, I used to get depressed a lot too during my college years in the beginning. And even during my later years of high school, I will feel desperation and and just sadness, right? And it's something you can't control. When you're depressed, you can't control it. It's I don't think you can, but only God can. So prayer, it's amazing, and if somebody can pray for you, it's even more amazing what it can be achieved. So um, that is my testimony about the existence of Jesus Christ, because since God we cannot see or touch, we can only feel, and this is all I can do to testify uh, regarding His existence. Mm, I know that might not be enough for some people, but I just hope that um, you know you can get one more source to slowly, you know, get warmed up to take the leap of faith, right? But the trick here is one day it will come the time when you will uh, get tired of trying to have it your way, and you will decide to give it a try and give your life to Jesus Christ and have them run your life for you, because all they want is for good things to happen to you. They never want anything bad to happen to you. And even trials are for your growth and they're for your benefit. So it's always for your benefit. Anyways, whoever you are out there, I love you, brothers and sisters. And today's a Saturday. Hope you're having a good day. And talk to you next time. And have a wonderful one.